Alright everyone, I finally have the workout plan video. I don't know how many of you will watch this, but I did a video not too long ago about getting healthy and stuff, and then I had said I would make a workout plan video. So this is a completely beginner workout plan. This is really to get you going. You could do this and you would be fine. You would still keep getting growth, but you might find other things you like instead. This is just to me an easy way to get you in. Um, so on day one, we're doing just back and a little bit of leg. So the way this whole workout plan works, it's over 5 days. You work every major muscle group, and then you'll also work your legs throughout the week. So it'd be a Monday through Friday, or however you want to do it, but I do it Monday through Friday. So day one is back. So we're doing assisted pull-ups, 2 sets, 5 to 8 reps per set, 1.5 to 3 minute rest between sets. Now that's kind of 3 minutes would be optimal for most people. That's going to be, fully rested for your next set. But if you're crunched on time, I tend to be go for at least 1.5 minutes between sets. That should be enough to give you good rest. You're looking to get to failure, muscular failure, within 5 to 8 reps. That's really what we're looking for. That is the optimal range. Is 5 to 8 reps for good hypertrophy and good strength gain. So you're looking to get to failure. Most people will tell you get 1 rep away from failure, but you don't even know what failure looks like if you're a beginner. So you're looking to take it where you cannot do another set. That's a pretty good margin to go off of. You'll know if you can't do another set. You'll go to pull and pull and pull, and you need to try. And if you cannot do another rep or another rep in your set, um, that means you've hit muscular failure to some extent, right? So it's a pretty good indicator of where your failure point is. Now you're gonna spend the first probably few weeks trying to figure out what weight works for you. Are you hitting it in 5 to 8 reps? Don't get too caught up on that number. If you do 9 or 10, that's fine. Don't. But take some time the first few weeks to get kind of familiar with the machines and the exercises, familiar with really where your true starting weight is, and work from there. So this is going to be the reason I only wrote it up top for that one. This is going to be consistent for every single exercise. So 2 sets, 5 to 8 reps per set, 1.5 to 3 minute rest in between sets. So next we have exercise two. It's going to be, well, actually, I've got pictures. All right, so this is what an assisted pull up looks like. This is the machine. So you see how it has that little thing underneath the guy, right? This little pad. This weight you can stack to give you more assistance. The less weight you have on here, the harder the pull up is to do. The more weight, the easier it becomes to do because that weight is kind of counteracting your weight. A good way to get started is maybe find out what your body weight is and then throw an extra 20 or 40, and see how that feels and kind of work from there. So that would be an assisted pull up. If your gym doesn't have this, you could do a form of a lat pull down, which we'll actually go ahead and look up now. Lat pull down machine. I would prefer you do assisted pull ups, but not everybody has them um, at their gym. So this would be like a form of a lat pull down, something like this. This would probably be a machine that you would see something similar to this or this in your gym. That's fine. You can do that too. Um, it can kind of be changed out, but try to see if your gym has an assisted pull down first or pull up. My bad. So next we have our lat pull down or lat seated row. So if you do have an assisted pull up machine, you can do a lat pull down, but I would actually prefer you to do like a seated row. So this would be like a seated row to work. Boom, you pinch in the back, right? So that would be like a seated row. Now, your gym may not have this variation, but you have stuff like this you can do on cable machines, stuff like that, stuff like that, stuff like that. A lot of gyms will have this available, but if you can, maybe try to get on one of these or something similar to it, right? Um, Next, we'll have hamstring curls, seated or laid down. I would prefer you do seated, which this is what it would look like, a machine like this. But you don't always have that option, so you do also have like laying down variations, right? Something like this. I'll actually trade them out every other week, so I'll do a seated one week and then a laid down the next week just to give some variety. Seated is going to be the best one for optimal growth, but the laid down's fine too. So you don't get too caught up in that. Next, we're going to have seated row machine, which is the same thing here. But a beautiful thing you can do is it kind of is already going to work your upper back some, but if you want to focus the upper back, you just take your seat and move it down. A lot of gyms will have it where you can move the seat. This one doesn't show that variation. If you have to do it on two separate machines, that's fine. But a lot of them will have it where something like this will be allowed to move the seat down. The more you move the seat down, the more this is going to line up with your upper back. And then you can do basically the same motion. You're just going to squeeze your back together, just kind of like when you stretch. So, all right, so that's going to be day one. That's our back, plus our one leg workout. Day two is going to be chest. So we're going to start our chest. So I'll go ahead and exit out of that, and we're going to do some kind of chest press that's at an angle if you have this as an option. If you don't, you can set up on a bench. A lot of places will have an upper chest angled bench. But they probably have some variation. Something like this, something like that, something like this would be fine. Um, most gyms typically have some variation of like an angled upper chest kind of chest press workout. So, but yeah, something in this range would be fine. Okay. Second, we're going to do just a chest press straight, which would be this here. This would just be a straight on it. It's pointed straight out, right? Instead of at an angle, it just comes straight out. That would be our next exercise. And then next, we're going to have leg extension machine. So that would be this. There's probably some variation at your gym. I've never gone to a gym, even small ones, that did not have some form of a leg extension machine, something in this nature. There's also some that might have separate weight on each side, so you can do one legged. I'll do one legged even on these. So I'll do like the first set will be both legs, and the next set I'll move the weight down and just do one leg. You don't have to do that. It does help guarantee you're working both equally, but hey, you know what? If you're just comfortable with doing both legs, do both legs. That's fine. The next will be a chest fly. This machine here. It kind of looks like a butterfly. That's the way you can do other variations, but we're going to be focusing on machines. Especially as a beginner. It kind of locks you in place. It's hard to mess up the form, and you can just load it up. I still mostly use machines. People hate on them. They say free weight's better. It's not. Free weight gives more room for injury. It gives more room for form not being right. Machines pretty much the way to go. This would also be another machine that's very similar, something of that nature. You could also do it with cables, but again, I would your gym should have this. Every gym I've ever been to has this type of machine. So, all right, we're done on that day. Day two is done. Day three, we're doing biceps. We're gonna go to preacher curls. So let me get rid of all of this. Boom, 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 boom. All right, preacher curl machine. It's gonna look like this. Oh my god. Oh, perfect. All right. This is a preacher curl machine, something of this nature. They don't always look exactly the same like this, but you'll find something like this. If you can't find something like that at your gym, you can also there's preacher curls where it's just this seating, and then you can take dumbbells or a barbell and do it like that. Something of this similarity as well. This would be like a preacher curl with free weight. You can also do preacher curls kind of like this, where you lean over a pad and lift up. Um, that's all options. I would say try to see if your gym has the actual machine like this first. If not, then you can move on to a variation like this. Be very careful. doing these, start low weight. Do not try to stack a bunch of weight on this. If you just start with just the bar, that's perfect. Just try that, see how you feel, and then move it up incrementally. 2.5 to 5 pounds on each side. See how that feels. Do not go crazy on this. Don't try to load up a bunch of weight, be a big man. Do not go into the gym ego lifting. You need to start off at a good foundation. Find that foundation and build up from there. Don't go in here trying to, because you will tear your fucking bicep if you try to load a bunch of weight. You don't know what you're doing. But try to find this if you can. If you can't, they should probably have something as like this as an option. You might even find one like this as an option. So next we're going to do let's see. I got lost. Dumbbell hammer curls, single arm. Sometimes these bicep machines like this will have it where it's kind of like if you look, where is the picture that I just had? Okay, well, all right. See how it kind of has an angle coming up, so it goes up and then to the side. Sometimes these are big enough that you can actually just grab this actual up going up part and use that as a hammer curl. I'll do that, but if you don't have one of those as an option, then you can just do dumbbell ones. You can do them seated or not. Basically the same concept as a normal curl, but instead of having it facing horizontally, you take your dumbbell and you face it more vertically, and you'll have it kind of like you're holding it like a mug, like a drinking mug, like hurrah, something like that, and you'll just lift up. You'll hammer curl. It's like you're hammering something. Ding, ding. You can also do them seated. I would suggest doing them single armed, um, and that would be fine. So that would be a hammer curl. Next, we're going to do calf raises. So this would be a calf raise machine. This is something like that. Your gym may not have this, but it may have something like this, where you can put the plates on and you can lift. Or something like this, right? So that is an option. Sometimes you'll have these machines, which I have a hard time seeing, where you're seated and the little pedals you push on are out in front of you. Um, Instead of being standing up like that, you'll be seated. So let's take this guy, bend him down, and then the pedals be in front of him, and you just push the pedals with your calf. You push them. Um, you'll see it when you know it. It has these two little foot pedals, and you push them with your feet, and there you go. But this would also be a calf raise machine, something in that nature. If you can't find any machine to work on at all, grab some dumbbells to add some extra weight. Go stand in front of a mirror and then just raise up on your tippy toes like a calf, like raise up on your calves. That's it. So that would also be an option. And then finally, for bicep day, we're doing single arm cable curls. Something like this. You'll go find a cable, you'll attach something to it, and you will curl it. And it's very simple. This guy's showing a demonstration of it, and you're curling up, and you're curling up just like you would a bicep curl. Same thing here, same thing here. That would be fine. That's what I do currently. All right, so we're done on our bicep day. So next we're doing shoulders. So shoulders, we're doing shoulder press machine. This is what it's going to look like. Something of this variation. It could also look like this. It can also look like this, where it kind of has an angle to it. It can look like this. It can look like this. It can look like this. There's a lot of different ones out there, but typically a lot of gyms will have something that looks like this. I have seen it in every gym I've been in, and you probably will too. So something like this, a shoulder press machine. You're just going to press your shoulders, right? It kind of works your whole shoulder pretty well. Next, we're going to be doing the side delt machine. I don't know what else to call it. Lateral raise. My bad. There we go. I forget the official names, but you'll do a side delt / like lateral raise machine. Something like this. I also call it the butterfly machine. You have ones like this where you face away, and you have ones like this where you face inward. These are perfectly fine to work your shoulders. Do I believe they're the best thing, most optimal thing? No. These can be good. Stuff like this is good. Stuff like this can be good. But these are fine. You can also find stuff like that. You can also, here's another example of that. But something in that nature, something of this type of persuasion. You will find it. You'll be able to work your shoulders, catch your side delts pretty good. Next, we're doing glutes. We're going to do some version of a hip thrust. As you can see, she's doing this. They do have different ones out there. So you have ones like at my gym that look like this. You can also do hip thrusts by setting up a bench and then kind of laying down with the weight and lifting up. But a lot of gyms do have a variation of a hip thrust. Something like this machine. This is what my gym has, or something even like this. Something like that is an option. You need to work your booty some kind of way. You also have what I would call the sussy machine. I'm gonna see if it actually brings it up based on that. Sussy machine. um, Workout. Let's see. Not sissy squats. No, that's that's very sus. Where is this? I guess it doesn't pull up here. Okay, so I think it's the adductor. It's either the abductor or the adductor machine. Yeah, here we go. So this is the one where you push out, right? So you see how she's pushing it out? She doesn't have it in between her thighs. Same thing here. The pads are not on the inside of her thighs, they're on the outside. You're going to be pushing. It's supposed to work your hip and stuff, but I know for a fact it's got to work your booty. I feel it the most in my booty. I would still prefer you doing hip thrusts in this situation. Hip thrust machine. I put thirst, but it'll pop up. But yeah, something like this would be best. So if your gym doesn't have this, one of these machines, you can always set up a bench and do it with a barbell. But yeah. And okay, so we'll move on. And our last thing is going to be rear delt flies. This is your chest press machine or your chest fly machine. Most of them are adjustable. I don't think I've ever seen one that's not adjustable, where you would take your bars and instead of being faced outwards, you face inwards. Your bars go to the full front facing, so your bars would be in front of you, and you would kind of fly them out like. Oh my god, I just hit that. It was probably loud. I'm sorry. And you would push your stuff back, push it back, hit it again. Fuck. I'm sorry. You'll take it and pull it back, pull it back. Um, Here you see this guy doing it. He's facing forward. It's going to start in front of him, and then he'll pull back. He'll pull back to where he is here, and it'll work that rear delt. You can also do dumbbell variations, but just do this. This is fine. So we're done with shoulder day. I know this is kind of all over the place. I'm not the most organized person, but I just wanted to give you guys a simple workout. Day 5, we're going to be doing a tricep push down machine. It's going to look like this. I'm having trouble finding someone actually doing it. This one's the closest. Where it's going to, you're going to sit in between it. You're going to face away from the pad, right? You can see you're facing away from the pad. You'll put your hands on these things and you'll push them down, push them down, push them down. That would be a tricep push down machine. You also have ones that look like this, like this, like this, or even like the one this guy's using. But something like this would also count. But yeah, you get the idea. So that would be your tricep push down machine. Next, we're doing cable rope pull downs. So where's it at? Cable rope pull downs or push downs, whatever you want to call them. You're going to take it and push it down. You'll kind of come, you see how it kind of comes down at this angle, and then he'll have it come up and then push down, and then come up and push down. You can look these exercises up and find them. Yeah, tricep pull downs. So pretty simple, pretty good. Next, we're going to do a leg press. So this is our big leg compound movement for the end of the week. Which you could start it, but I like doing this at the end of the week. I know I'm ending my week on doing a compound movement of some sort. This is going to work a lot of your whole leg. You could also do some form of squat or something, but to get you in, a lot of gyms have a leg press machine that looks like that or something like this. Now, there are a lot of them that also look like this or like this. That's a hack squat. That doesn't look like a, yeah. That's a hack squat. That's a leg press. Hack squat, you're moving down. Leg press, you're down already pushing up. See the difference? You'll also have ones that look like this at things like Planet Fitness. This would be a leg press machine. This will give you a good compound movement on your legs. All right. And then next we have behind the back cable pulls. I like to do them single arm, um, where you'll basically stand straight. Oh God, I don't want to exit out. You'll stand straight up. You'll have it kind of the cable part, right? Wherever it would be at. I'm trying to find it. So like where this little thing is, where the rope comes out of, this will kind of be at your hips or a little bit below your hips, and then you can take a handle if you want. Sometimes I just use a little ball attached to it, but it also depends on your gym. You can take a handle, and just like he's doing, you take it, it goes behind your back, and you're gonna pull it up and kind of out away from you, up and out, up and out, up and out, single arm. If you don't want to do them single arm, that is fine. I would prefer you do a single arm. You get better range of motion that way, to be honest with you. But if that doesn't work, you can always take the rope or some kind of bar and whoop, and it's going to come down below, back like this, and boom, and back and boom. So that would be all your workouts, truly. And then also we want to do a cardio. Cardio, just walk 20 minutes minimum every day after every lift, or get at least 5K steps a day. So a lot of people are going to tell you need to get 10K, which is true. You should try to get 10K eventually, but you're just a newbie. If anything, if you just want to start on getting 25K steps a day. Now, a lot of people do a lot of jobs that allow them to move around, 2,000 steps a day already. But some people don't. So try to start off at 2,500 steps a day, and then work your way up to 5, and then or even 25 to 3,000, 3,000 to 3,500, 335 to 4,000. However you have to do it. But we want to get pretty soon to 5K steps a day if we can, and then work our way up from there. And so yeah, you can do it on a treadmill, go for a walk in your neighborhood, go for a walk in a park, around your town or city you live in, whatever you have to do to get some steps and do that. You would also want to try to do that on your weekends, try to go get some steps just to keep everything moving. But yeah, so this would be the beginner workout. One thing to keep in mind on every exercise, um, also would be you want to be explosive on the lift and slow on the reset. So whenever you go to push that weight, push it. Put some work into it. Push that thing. Try to explode out with it. And then whenever you come back down, be slow, be methodical. Do not go fast. You don't want to look like a fucking jackrabbit. I've seen some people that I know aren't working shit. They're not working any muscles because they're just like they're using the momentum of going up and down, up and down, up and down, and it's not really working anything. Explosive on the liftoff, slow on the landing. Explosive on liftoff, slow on landing. That goes for every exercise. I don't care which one you're doing. So on the actual lift where you're lifting the weight, back down to reset, explosive, slow. Explosive, slow. Always do that. Now, that's it. That's the workout. All right. You can do it in this way. Some people would tell you this is not a great exercise plan because the frequency is low. This is true. You're only working each muscle group once a week. Um, but this is meant to be beginner friendly. I'll do this. I've actually been doing something similar to this for a while now because my life's been busy. I have other stuff going on. I got to make sure I get my lifts in and stuff. I lift heavy. I don't, I don't do reps and reps and reps for days. That's a bunch of junk volume. You don't need to be doing that. You need to be lifting heavy and intensely. And this has worked fine for me though, because I've been short on time. I've been focused on other stuff. And so this allows me to go in, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes and I can work. I might do a little bit of cardio at the gym and then go home for a while and then go walk around my neighborhood to get my steps in. But this has been time efficient and still getting my work in. Actually, some stuff I've actually gone up pretty pretty good on my weight lift, like on my progressive overload. Another thing to focus on is obviously progressive overload. Spend a week or two, maybe 3, depending at the same weight. Once you get comfortable with that, maybe try to push for one more rep or push the weight up a little bit. But you want to progressively get better. Um, Don't listen to anybody that tells you need to confuse the weight. That doesn't make confuse the muscle. That makes no fucking sense. Your muscle does not have a brain. It is connected to your brain. Muscles do not respond to random bullshit. They respond to load, to heavy loads. That's what they respond. They respond to the intensity it takes to do the thing. So anybody tell you need to be doing 4 fucking sets of 12 doesn't know what they're talking about. That doesn't make sense. You can still get results that way. I'm not saying you won't, but you're just doing a bunch of junk volume for no fucking reason. This takes a lot of that junk volume out, allows you to wear down the muscle, put some intensity on it, put some load on it, and get moving with your fucking day. But yeah, confusing the muscle makes no sense. That is not real. That's some 80s bullshit that people still believe from a bunch of dudes who were taking way too much gear and didn't know what they were talking about. That is not the science. That doesn't make sense. Science doesn't back that up. But yeah, so you don't need to be changing your workout. Actually, changing your workout constantly is a negative because you can't really tell what you're doing progressively. You don't know how to progressive overload if every week you're changing your exercises constantly. It doesn't help. It doesn't change anything. If you want to do it for variety here and there, that's fine. I'm not hating on that side of it. Just for variety, I'll do that sometimes. But for the most part, you want to keep your exercises consistent so that you know that you are progressively overloading, and write everything down. Write down how many reps you did, what weight on each day, and see how you're scaling up and down. Obviously, eat a better diet. Um, yeah. So, but this is just the workout video. So here you go. Here's the workout plan. I've had it up on screen. You've seen me go through each exercise. Go implement it if you haven't started working out. This is a good way to get started. So, anyways, I will see you guys later, and peace